LeBron James likes what he sees in the new and improved Lakers locker room. Paul George says a title with the Clippers would mean more to him than one with the Lakers. And the Dodgers begin spring training by looking around and asking all the pitchers, okay, who's injured? Whatever. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. It is February 17th, 2023. I am back home. I am back with my wife. I'm very happy to see her. Hence, I bought her just a modicum amount of sunflowers to brighten her day. But while I have a chance, let's talk some LA sports. If you like the content that we put out, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. It's a beautiful day. Let's have some chit-chat. So before we go through the news and notes from around LA sports, a look at the scoreboard. LA, the Clippers, they enter the All-Star break at 32-28 after posting a 116-107 victory over Phoenix. Not bad. Also, going to the college, fourth-ranked UCLA, Fide Jr. is playing like a man who's like, you know what? Bleep this, I'm taking over. He scores a game-high 26 points, but the Bruins barely edged Stanford 58-57. Is that trouble on the horizon for UCLA? Finally, Drew Peterson scores 30 points to lead USC to a 97-60 victory over Cal. They are obviously trying to wash off the stink of that road trip up to Oregon last weekend. Meanwhile, today, the Kings are going to be playing Anaheim at 6 p.m. The Ducks, it's very odd. We always thought that hockey rivalry, if you want to call it that, was tight. It's really not. And the Ducks have been awful for a few years, but they still lead the overall series 74-56, 11-16. Kind of strange, wouldn't you say? So, a couple of nights ago, the Lakers, they come out and they enter the All-Star break with a victory of their own over at Crypto.com Arena. For the most part, pretty convincing. And LeBron James now, he decided to issue his first public decree, King James shall decree, that he is grateful for the former teammates who were on the team but had to go, and that he really believes in the new additions that the Lakers have added. The Lakers basically turned over a third of their roster going into the trade deadline. He even went so far as to name names as to people he's really looking forward to having around for a while. He thinks D'Angelo Russell is, quote, very crafty, can space the floor, unquote. He admires Jared Vanderbilt for his versatility. Great. All great. The only issue that I have with it, I like the fact that he's trying to get off on the right foot with all the newbies. Do the Lakers have time? They have 23 games left in the regular season to try to reach the play-in round. As it currently stands, they are in 13th position. They are 2 games out of the final play-in playoff spot. And my other thing that says, well, you might be like, well, that sounds like a lot of time, James. Maybe, but the Lakers don't put together winning streaks, at least not yet. The longest one that they've had this year is just 5. That was over the holidays, December going into January. And they've only done that once. I will start having a lot more faith in the Lakers when they actually start stringing wins together. Yes, I am aware, by the way, speaking of players that could come to the Lakers, I am aware that Kevin Love was bought out by Cleveland. Yes, I'm aware that he did play alongside LeBron James. Yes, I know he's a 3-and-D guy. No, I do not believe any rumors. I will only believe a name signed on a contract. Remember, all those names that were bandied about trade rumors and hot signings, they all were wrong at the trade deadline. Shaq went after Dwight Howard again. This is a war nobody asked for. Dwight, who, like Shaq, came to the Lakers from Orlando. Both of them won a ring with the Lakers. Both of them have a Superman complex. That's a little weird, I must say. But I don't know why Shaq has always had this issue with Dwight Howard. Maybe it's the whole Superman thing. I have no idea. But Shaq now notices that Dwight Howard is playing in Taiwan because, frankly, Dwight Howard isn't a spring chicken anymore. So he says, quote, "Oh, they have a losing record, the team in Taiwan. I ain't losing to nobody in Taiwan. How about that? You can't have no losing record in Taiwan." And I'm just like, this is like literally watching two 7-foot-tall minions in a slap fight with each other. It's not fun. I don't like it. There's better things for this guy to talk about. Dwight Howard is old and busted. Shaq is old and busted. Let them both carry their Muppets heckler routine off somewhere else. I don't need it on my internet. Paul George says winning a title with the Clippers would mean more to him than winning one with the Lakers. How would you know? I mean, how would you know, Paul? I don't even have a problem with you. But saying that winning a title with the Clippers would mean more to one than winning with the Lakers to a man who has never won a title anywhere, that's kind of like ranks right down there with a 40-year-old virgin claiming that a boob feels like a bag of sand. What do you know about winning titles? What did you know about grabbing a boob? And by the way, I have grabbed a boob. It's awesome. It's way more thrilling in life than a bag of sand. And I might add, the first time anybody lifts up a championship trophy, I don't think anybody really cares what jersey they're wearing at the time. I really don't think so. I mean, seriously, dude, you are a non-ring 31-year-old virgin in this conversation. Chill your jets. It's something you don't know about. Shams Charania of The Athletic is saying that the Clippers have opened talks with former MVP and former Laker Russell Westbrook. Here's the problem with that. Yes, they can talk, but Russell Westbrook had to ask permission to talk with the Clippers because the Utah Jazz haven't bought out his contract yet. This is one of the most ass-backward player transactions I've ever seen in my life. Look, if he winds up with the Clippers, cool. I'm not a Russell Westbrook hater. But like a lot of things in Westbrook's career over the last few years, this has been an ass-backward approach. The Dodgers kicked off spring training, and, there are rites of passage with every spring. Flora and fauna, they start to bloom. Maybe you have a crush on a girl and you've decided to memorize poetry to try to kick off the spring by saying hi to her. And the Dodgers kicked off their spring by putting half of the pitching staff on the 60-day disabled list. So it's a glorious time to be alive. Yeah, everybody always talks about the damn rodent coming out of a hole somewhere in the Midwest and how that signals 6 more weeks of winter. No. It's the number of Dodgers players that get put on the 60-day disabled list. That's what signals how much winter we have left. Walker Buehler, Blake Trinan, JP Fireeisen, all 3 60-day DL. And honestly, it's not a big surprise. We talked about Blake Trinan's multiple shoulder surgeries yesterday. We know that Walker Buehler had Tommy John surgery last year. The idea that Buehler is going to pitch it all this year, that's going to be a lot longer than 60 days. But on the plus side, all have time now that they're on the disabled list. All have the time to appreciate a delightful spring breeze. So there's that. Freddie Freeman allegedly told a radio host that incoming Dodgers outfielder Jason Hayward may have fixed his swing. May have. Freeman obviously knows how to hit. He's been watching Jason Hayward. Having said that, Freeman's a little biased. They've been friends since they were teenagers. Mookie Betts, on the other hand, has gained 8 pounds since last season, presumably all muscle. He was told to bulk up a little bit by the Dodgers, which is kind of hilarious because you're like eating like a horse, lifting as many weights as you can for 6-7 months, and the best you could do is 8 pounds. Who among us hasn't gone to the bathroom and thought they lost 8 pounds? Am I right? I mean, it's not that hard to gain 8 pounds. Mookie Betts last year had a awkward year. It was a strong year, but it's not Betts standards. For example, he hit 35 home runs last year, but he only hit 269 in the regular season. Even worse, he only had 2 base hits when the Dodgers had that disastrous playoff series in San Diego. The Rams have hired a former Washington head coach. The college, that is, the one in the Pac-10, no longer the Pac-12. Jimmy Lake is now an assistant with the Rams. His role, however, is undefined. Here's the thing. Before he went to coach college ball, he worked for Raheem Morris. So he knows what Morris is trying to accomplish on the defensive end. But the problem I also have with it is we don't necessarily have the official word that Raheem Morris is still the Rams defensive coordinator. Remember, Morris was going off trying to get head coaching assignments. Is it possible that this guy who's coming in, Lake, without a specifically assigned role on the coaching staff, is it possible he's being groomed to replace Raheem Morris? And I don't mean groomed in the creepy way that we've been hearing about online these days. I'm talking about being prepared to be a defensive coordinator. There was a belief that Lake would actually coach the defensive backs, but then the Rams turned around and hired Anthony Pleasant for that role. Pleasant was a fall guy for the Detroit Lions last year. Detroit could not play defense to save its life. That's why it missed out on the NFL playoffs. So it's not just Jakob Chicherin who was getting scratched from NHL games due to possible trades that are coming up. So did Vladislav Gavrikov, held out by the Columbus Blue Jackets on Tuesday night for, quote, trade-related reasons. And then he's also a left-handed defenseman, so the rumor mill started kicking in about going to the LA Kings. It's all speculation. Nobody has an inside source. Yes, the Kings want a left-handed defenseman. Yes, there are 2 high-caliber available left-handed defensemen. I don't know which one. And by the way, the possibility of trading for either one of them just got a little murkier a couple of days ago. Alex Turcotte, you might recall, he was the first choice from the Kings back in the 2019 draft. They drafted Turcotte 5th overall that year. Well, he's been mentioned as a trade asset for a left-handed defenseman. He currently plays for the Ontario Reign in the Kings minor league affiliate. And he got knocked out in an Ontario Reign game versus San Jose. He did not continue playing. He also has a lengthy history of concussion problems. Now, I'm not saying I know the man has a concussion, but if you're trading one of your key left-handed defensemen to a team that wants a left-handed defenseman, wouldn't you want to make sure that the prospect you're getting back isn't seeing stars? So that's an ish. Both LA MLS teams debuted their secondary kits yesterday. Normally I'm not, even though I wear jerseys obviously a lot, I'm not big on talking about jerseys because that doesn't matter as much as the wins and the losses. But I did have a couple of thoughts I wanted to get out of my system. Look, LAFC's kit is trash. There's just no getting around it. Not every LA Galaxy kit looks like it was made out of the thread made from, I don't know, Goldilocks' hair or whatever. But that kit from LAFC is absolute trash. Now, I will acknowledge that LA Galaxy's kit is it's a gorgeous kit. It really is. Very handsome. But it got me to wondering, why can't the front office care about building a team on the field as much as they seem to care about jersey sales, right? And I do have a secondary thing to let the LA Galaxy front office know. You're trying to say that that kit represents LA. That would be wrong. This was the kit that represented the LA city flag. Your first one. This new one, you're trying too hard to look like the Portland Timbers. Duly noted. We have no idea. Why, Chris Klein? Why are you trying so bad to look like the Portland Timbers? That jersey I held up, that one looked like the LA city flag. The LA kit. Come on, dude. We know what you're trying to do. We know you're trying to make it sound like LA is still the dominant team in LA. Your brand has taken a massive hit in the last calendar year. A jersey is not changing course. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Let me know what you think about the new look Lakers. Or Paul George thinking a Clippers title is bigger than a Lakers one. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.